Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is your man Big Rich back with you. No, it's been a couple of weeks. Had a couple things happen that wasn't able to get on, but it's playoff time in NASCAR, and we're going to get into the playoff scenarios in Truck and Xfinity and Cup Series all this week, as well as talking about this weekend's races in the Xfinity Series and in the Cup Series. So lots to get into tonight. Please feel free to shoot questions, comments, your predictions to however you get this broadcast, and we'd love to hear from you. But let's start things off. We'll talk about the playoffs later. So let's get into the results from this past weekend. This weekend at Daytona, Connor Zilich. Yes, Connor Zilich was not driving the car, but he started the race and he gets credit for the win, even though Parker Klingerman was behind the wheel and did a great job. Parker Klingerman did a fantastic job getting that car to the finish line and getting the win for Connor Zilich and JR Motorsports. Real nice job there by Connor or by Parker taking over for Connor, who's still recovering from that broken collarbone. Sammy Smith second, Justin Allgaier third, Jesse Love fourth, Sam Mayer fifth, Brandon Jones sixth, Dean Thompson seventh, Garrett Smithley eighth, Brendan Poole ninth, Carson Quapple in 10th. A couple of guys that needed to have really good runs that didn't. Harrison Burton 16th, Sheldon Creed was 17th. Jeb Burton was 20th. Excuse me. Austin Hill comes in 25th. Raja Caruth came over from the Truck Series, finished 29th. Daniel Dye, 35th. Parker Retzlaff. My gosh. Really tough season for this guy, man. I feel sorry for this kid. I honest to God do. Parker Retzlaff comes in dead last after mechanical issues on lap 38. So, now that we're to the end of the regular season in the Truck Series, um, we can talk about the playoff picture and that sort of thing here in just a minute. But we do know that the playoffs do start this coming weekend. Darlington for the Truck Series and for the Cup Series, and Xfinity will start their playoffs on a road course in Portland. So where the favorites are going to be. Excuse me, in that one. Then we go to the Cup Series. Boy, I tell you, that was a really fun race. Really fun race. Ryan Blaney on the pole. And it it was gonna be a fun race all the way around. You had a couple of guys in Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick that were fighting to keep their spots. If there wasn't a new winner, then they were both in. If we had a new winner, one of the two was out. So, there was definitely some scoreboard watching by these two guys, as well as keeping an eye on what they were doing by themselves. So Blaney, Logano, Hamlin, Keselowski, Suarez, and Kyle Busch take off. Right after the green flag, you got six cars busting off, and the bottom lane is way back. Alex Bowman all the way back outside the top 20. We get to lap 11. Casey Mears cuts down a right front tire, spins down turns 3 and 4, right in front of William Byron and Ricky Stenhouse. Byron had to do a stop and go penalty because of some adjustments made to the spoiler post inspection on Friday, and was given a number of penalties, including an ejection of crew chief Rudy Fugel. So yeah, it was a rough start for Blaney, but by lap 11, he's back on the lead lap. So not that bad of a go. Blaney leads. Busher and Gibbs lead the back third of the field down pit road for stops. And Chris Busher's already saying his brakes are really soft. So they've got to bleed those brakes and get that air out of them, get rid of that softness in the brakes. Lap 19. Here goes Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick and Todd Gilliland spin down the inside off turn 4. Reddick hits the inside wall near pit road. He did some pretty decent damage to that car. Drives away, gets new tires, comes back down pit road again, repairs the splitter. Was not a contender the rest of the day. We go back to green at lap 24. Reddick's running okay, but he's in the back of the pack. The splitter is dragging a little bit, but he's running okay lap times, so they're not saying much of anything. Bubba Wallace is ahead of Blaney on the outside, and Daniel Suarez leading the bottom lane. Another country heard from there. Then we went to one of the bigger things that happened. The big one was at lap 28. Normally, it's later in the race. The big one in this particular race was on lap 28. Bubba Wallace got caught in the draft, got out of line. I've seen some people saying that it was Wallace's fault. I think it was honestly just a racing thing, but it did get a whole bunch of cars involved. Alex Bowman was involved. Cindric, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Joey Logano, Noah Gragson, Ricky Stenhouse, Riley Herbst. Bunch of damage, bunch of guys knocked out. It was a case where you could see they almost went 5 wide. Michael McDowell was on the far outside. You had Bubba Wallace. Kyle Larson was on his right rear. Joey Logano was between Bubba Wallace and Kyle Busch. I don't think that Bubba Wallace knew that Logano was there. And with the bump drafting and the air getting crazy, there went Bubba Wallace, and he goes down the inside. And, so now you've had Reddick and Bowman go into the wall, and it's absolute insanity going on. You can't you really honestly could not have drawn this up any worse for the guys out there. You're trying to let me see if I can play this for you guys. Yeah. Not quite able to do that right now, but it knocked the two incidents knocked Reddick and they knocked Bowman out of the contention of winning the race. Bowman's done for the day after this wreck. So now Bowman is really scoreboard watching because he needs a repeat winner. He needs either a repeat winner or Reddick to win the race so that he can stay in the playoffs. A lot of people were blaming Bubba Wallace, though, for this wreck. And as much as I kid around about Bubba Wallace causing half the wrecks in NASCAR and Austin Dillon causing the other half, I don't think he caused this one. I think it was almost like a victim of circumstance type deal. But anyway, Kyle Larson ends up winning stage 1. Larson, Chastain, Blaney, Dow, Haley, Justin Haley, Joey Logano, Gilliland, Priest, Briscoe, Bell, your top 10 after stage 1. The cars that are out after that wreck: Ricky Stenhouse, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Noah Gragson, Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, and Riley Herbst. So, 2 playoff drivers, 4 must-win guys, and then, like we mentioned, a bubble guy in Bowman. A whole lot of chaos right there. So Tyler Reddick had clinched his spot with Bowman being officially 35th. Like I say, now it comes down to scoreboard watching. We're trying to see, okay, is it going to be a new winner that takes that last spot, or does Alex Bowman get in? Stay tuned. Um, Cody Ware is out in front with John Hunter Nemechek on the restart. Cody Ware had a really good run in this race. So did John Hunter Nemechek. Cody Ware didn't get the results he should have, but he ran a really, really good race. Lap 60, Ty Dillon is up front, being pushed to the lead by Cody Ware. Spire teammates Justin Haley and Michael McDowell are right behind Ty Dillon on the inside. So there's a lot going on there. Lap 66, Ross Chastain goes out front, and then Carson Hocevar blows up. The engine blows up. Car stops at the entry of turn 1, cautions out. So there were some cars that had pitted before, including Haley, McDowell, Cody Ware, AJ Allmendinger. We go back to green with 8 laps to go in stage 2. Byron, Elliott, Larson stayed out, and Byron's out front, and they're at the front of this deal. And we get to the end of the stage. Ross Chastain ends up passing Joey Logano down the backstretch on new tires. On the final lap, wins stage 2. Ross Chastain first, Christopher Bell second, Logano third, Byron fourth, Nemechek fifth, Blaney sixth, Briscoe seventh, Preece eighth, Ty Gibbs ninth, and Kyle Larson 10th in stage 2. Now, you end up with pit road penalties after this stage. And of the guys that could afford them the least, they got them. Chase Elliott and William Byron pitted before pit road was open. That was part of the plan, though, whenever they got that yellow or got everything to come out. Daniel Suarez was too fast on pit road. Ross Chastain was pitting out of his pit box. They did work outside of his pit box. So they all got penalties. Lap 102, we're back to green. There's 59 laps left. John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones lead the bottom line. Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher are on the outer line. And, Denny Hamlin brings out the caution. He was involved in the big one on stage 1. He cuts a tire in turn 4 and hits the wall. Already a lap down, having a miserable day. And it didn't really get any better. So, he's clearly frustrated. Everyone pits. Austin Dillon leads Joey Logano on the bottom. Larson and Elliott are up top. Lap 130, Joey Logano is in the lead, going from one lane to the other one. Lane 1 or lap 140, Logano still leads, but we're getting closer to the end of the race, so things are going to start getting a little more aggressive. Eric Jones tried to use a run to pass Logano, didn't work. Jones is on the inside. Haley, Buescher are near the front as well, needing a victory to get into the playoffs. AJ Allmendinger at lap 45 ends up with an electrical issue. Go on the apron around to pit road. He's not going to win the race. 15 to go. Eric Jones leads the top line. Joey Logano leads the bottom. And we're getting close to the end here. Lap 147, the caution is out for Joey Logano. He's straight spun out in turn 4. Eric Jones is coming through, and Logano just spins down the front stretch, goes a lap down. That kills his hopes for a win. You could see on the replay there was space. There was air between the two cars. There was a lot of air between the two cars. In fact, plenty of air that there's no way it was Jones' fault for Logano to wreck. So that's where, that ended up. So you end up Buescher gets a little bit of damage, but Jones leads Haley, Larson, Priest, Elliott, and Buescher. 152, we go back green. We got 8 laps left. Eric Jones got shoved out of line up to the top. Ryan Priest, or I'm sorry, he got stuck in the middle. And Ryan Priest gets ahead on the outside line. Then Ryan Priest gets split by the 2 lanes from the front, and he ends up going to the back of the line. Larson is leading the outside line against Justin Haley. 2 laps left, and it just is an absolute chaotic finish. You have Blaney, you have Suarez, you've got Cole Custer, you've got all these guys that are sticking their noses into this thing. They're getting aggressive. They're running clean, and Blaney ends up surging to the lead after Haley and Cole Custer block each other. Nearly got split by 3 other cars, but he just, and I mean just, beat Daniel Suarez, Custer, and Haley to the line. So Blaney wins the race. Blaney already had a win this season. He was already in. So that means Alex Bowman is in the playoffs. A really fun race, a race that to me was one of the more entertaining races of the season. I had a blast with it. So, you ended up in that particular race where you have Blaney first, Suarez second, Haley third, Custer fourth, Eric Jones fifth, Kyle Larson sixth, Chris Buescher seventh, Ty Gibbs eighth, Josh Berry ninth, Chase Elliott 10th, Christopher Bell 13th, Shane Van Gisbergen 16th. He actually led the race for a little while. William Byron 19th, Tyler Reddick 21st, Denny Hamlin 25th, Kyle Busch 33rd, Bubba Wallace Bowman 36th, Bubba Wallace 37th. So a tough day. It was Daytona. That's all I can tell you. It was Daytona. So now we get into the real entertainment portion of the program. Because now we're talking about it's playoff time. And, we've got the guys that are in, and I couldn't believe that Caden Honeycutt misses the playoffs by 2 points. I really couldn't. Raja Caruth sneaks into the playoffs in the Truck Series. Their last race was 2 weeks ago. Corey Heim is your 1 seed. Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, Daniel Hemrick, Tyler Ankrum, Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, and Raja Caruth are your playoff drivers. Also, big news coming out of the Truck Series. Matt Crafton, 3-time champion, is retiring from full-time racing at the end of this season. He's still going to run select races. And I'll tell you what, I mean, he's been running as long as I can remember. And, he's a very well-respected guy, quality guy. Not a lot. I haven't heard very many bad things said about Matt Crafton in his career. And, he's going to be missed, but boy, has he helped leave a really, really strong legacy in the Craftsman Truck Series. The Xfinity Series, your playoff participants, as I'm getting my page together here: Connor Zilic, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, Nick Sanchez, Carson Quapple, Sheldon Creed, Taylor Gray, Harrison Burton. Jeb Burton misses it by 36 points, Ryan Sieg by 56, Dean Thompson by 72, Christian Eckes, who had a really rough rookie campaign. If it wasn't for Parker Retzlaff, I would say Christian Eckes had the worst luck in Xfinity this season. Christian Eckes he ends up 16th in the regular season, and he ends up 80 points out of making the playoffs. I would not be surprised if he still ends up winning a race before it's all said and done. but yeah, so that's where you've got your 12 drivers there in the playoffs. In the Cup Series, we didn't quite get what I was thinking we would. I said at the beginning of the season and said throughout a large chunk of the season that I thought that we were going to have um, 17 drivers and one driver with no win or one win wouldn't make it. Well, we ended up with 14 different winners. Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick make it in on points. So as we sit at the moment, your playoff drivers: Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, SVG, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace, um, Austin Cindric, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Josh Berry, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, and Alex Bowman. So as we're looking at these, obviously we've got to look at who gets knocked out in the first round. And when I look at this truck series, or excuse me, Caden Honeycutt and Jake Garcia, I'm sorry, are in the truck series playoffs. Um, at the moment, they would be the two that would be cut in the first set of cuts. But as we sit right now, who do we see getting cut? And it's going to vary. It varies from series to series. Okay, two drivers are eliminated in the first round of the trucks, then four are eliminated in the second round, then the last four are in the last race, where the highest ranking driver gets the championship. The championship is obviously Corey Himes to lose. I mean, he has been the guy this season. And I'm going to pick him to win the whole thing. There's no question about that. But who are the first two guys to get knocked out? That's the question. Um, in this particular case, I'm going to have to say I think that Daniel Hemrick and Chandler Smith are going to be the first two to get knocked out. I don't have my biggest reasoning is the way they've run recently. The only guy that I could possibly put in that group with them would be Grant Enfinger. Those guys, and I realize, I mean, you only have the 10 guys, but I think two of those three, Enfinger, Smith, and Hemrick, are going to be the first ones knocked out. In the Xfinity Series, you start with 12, and then four are eliminated in each of the first two rounds. And then the four remaining drivers are in the season ending championship, where the highest rate finishing driver is the champion. I don't think Connor Zilisch wins this thing. I really don't. As well as he's run, and as well as he's done this year, I don't think he brings it home. I just don't. I think something happened. Do I think he makes it to the championship four? Yeah, I think he's in the championship four. But I just have a weird feeling that something happens and we don't see him win the whole thing. And by the way, I misread. Or no, I didn't. The others as well. So when we're looking at, you've got Burton, you've got Gray, you've got Creed, you've got Quapple, Sanchez, Sammy Smith. Who's the first four out? You know, I mean, going off of the way they've been finishing lately, I could see Taylor Gray getting knocked out in the first round. I could see Burton getting knocked out in the first round. Um, I could see Brandon Jones getting knocked out in the first round. And honestly, Jesse Love. I wouldn't be, that's who I'm going to pick as my four to get knocked out in the first round is Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, Harrison Burton. And we'll find that out in two races. But if you who do I think is going to win it? I think it's back-to-back years for Justin Allgaier. I really do. I mean, Junior Motorsports has had a tremendous year. All three of their guys are in. Sammy Smith, Connor Zilich, Justin Allgaier are all in. Um, but I just honestly think that we're going to see a repeat champion in Justin Allgaier. Cup Series, man, this one's going to be crazy. 16 drivers, 4 rounds. 4 drivers are eliminated in each of the first 3 rounds, which consist of 3 races. And then the last 4 drivers, season ending championship, highest finishing driver. At the moment, who do I see as my first 4 out? Bowman, Dillon, um, Bowman, Dillon, Bubba Wallace, and I gotta look at the schedule again. Hold on. Because the first 3 races are the Southern 500, the Enjoy Illinois 300 at Madison and Bristol. SVG is one of the first ones out. Um, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I can't see SVG. I just can't. I can't see SVG making it. There's no road courses, and I hate to pigeonhole the guy like that. And you notice I didn't do that with Connor Zilich, but Connor Zilich has won races in other formats and on ovals. SVG has not. Yes, he's won 4 races, and they're all road course. There is no road course in the first 3 races. So I think your first 4 out are SVG, Bubba Wallace, um, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman. As a Hendrick guy, it hurts me to say Alex Bowman, but I mean he just squeaked in. He really I don't want to say he doesn't deserve to be in. He almost doesn't deserve to be in. Who's going to win the whole thing? I think we're going to see a resurgence out of that 24 car in these last 10 races. And I believe that we're going to see the 24 car win it this year. A secondary guy, if Byron doesn't, I could see Ryan Blaney winning it again, getting his second title. But I'm really thinking that your championship 4 are probably Byron, Larson, Blaney, Elliott, maybe Hamlin. But we got a long way to go until we get to that point. This coming week, the Darlington Southern 500. We got a lot going on with that one. Boy, I tell you, Southern 500 is one of those ones that you always mark on your calendar, and you want to win that Southern 500. Who wins that one, man? That's a race that Hendrick drivers have always done really well at. Um, I'm gonna go Byron to win this one. I think he locks himself into the second round with a win right here. Um, and it's going to be fun. I really think it's going to be fun. The Xfinity Series, of course, will be on the road course in Portland. I mean, you got to put Zilich in the favorite spot. You have to, but and SVG obviously won't be running it because he'll be running the Cup race in Darlington on Sunday. He wouldn't be able to run Saturday night, get all the way across the country, and run at Darlington on Sunday. So, you know, yeah, I definitely think that depending on how Connor's collarbone is, do they have to do some substituting? I don't know. Justin Allgaier is always good on a road course. Um, Sammy Smith's always good on a road course. Austin Hill is pretty good on the road course. Jesse Love is good on the road course. But if I'm gonna pick someone to win this one, let me go ahead and take Allgaier. That he's gonna go ahead and clinch his spot in the second round. And we'll go from there. I think that's who we're gonna have win this race in Portland. So, I definitely look forward to the playoffs. Hopefully you do as well. And please let me know your picks. Who's going to win it all? Who's going to get knocked out first? And of course, we'll update as we do each and every week here on the show. Don't forget, tomorrow night, it'll be open mic night as we get together with a bunch of the Driving to the Top guys. And we are going to continue our NFL previews. With this week, we'll be previewing the AFC West and the NFC East. So lots to get into there. And then Wednesday night, myself and Adam will be doing Steel City Sports Talk. A lot to talk about there too. Pirates and Steelers wise, as well as college football kicking off this coming weekend. So lots to get into there. And of course, all the other shows that are part of the Driving to the Top Productions Network. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Check us out, and hopefully you find someone that you enjoy as part of this group. So there's a lot of things that are covered all over the country. So we definitely hope that you will grab hold of one or two of these shows and check them out each and every week. But that's it for me tonight. I know it's a little bit of a shorter show, but playoffs are coming this weekend, and we're ready to roll. Until next Monday night for Two Tire Change, I'm Big Rich, 7 Eastern, 6 Central next Monday night. So long, everybody.